Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so I adjusted volumes and whatnot, so you tell me if the sound volume is good or not. We are live. Okay. All right. I gotta get my other camera set up real quick. Just wanted to go ahead and go live. I believe I have a dream. No. I believe that today we are going to fix something I messed up on this bag. That being the wallet pocket. I was planning on doing the chiseling for the main construction today, but good morning, Mr. Squatch. What do you think of the audio levels right now? I turned up the mic volume, and now I'm wondering if it's too loud. So you tell me. And also the music, and just tell me what you think of it. Okay. It sounds excellent. Awesome. That's what we love to hear. Okay. This is good. Yeah, so I'm going to fix a problem that I caused on one of the pockets. Switch over here. So I made I'm going to just... So I made this pocket, right? I made it in order to have a wallet in there, and it's just too thin. So what I decided I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it up, I'm going to pull all the thread out, and I'm going to remake this pocket, but I'm going to make it 3D, so there's more than enough room. So it's going to be kind of like a little box, almost like a case. So I see I have another. I'm finishing the edges on the tablet with kickstand case, and we'll be done. 5 days down. Nice. Kevin, I'm happy you think that this content is interesting. I don't know why I've never seen other like leather workers do like workshop lives, and I feel like it's such a good way to really get a vibe for what you actually do in the shop, you know. Squatch Zone, will you post a video on your YouTube channel when you're done with that? You told me yesterday that you made a video, or you filmed a video or something. I'd be super interested to see what that case looks like when you're done. Okay, so we need to grab our thread ripper, or seam ripper. This is an extra large one I use for hand sewing thread. And what we want to do, okay, we want to make sure we don't actually cut into the leather. But in this case, it's going to be pretty simple. So I'll show you how we're going to do a 3D pocket in a second. That may mean we're not able to use a range mark piece like this. I'm not sure whether I have a piece big enough. So there's a couple ways that you can do a 3D pocket, right? You can do wet forming, and you can do a certain type of seam that makes it 3D. Now, I tend to stay away from wet forming only because it requires you to have like molds to, I can't remember if it's casts or molds to like shape it around, and I don't have any. And I'm not really set up to like make molds really easily. I could potentially cut out just a square mold out of some like plywood or something. But I really like the way the certain kind of pocket looks that I'm going to do today, so I think I'm going to just do it that way. Okay, now I'm going to save this range mark piece because I'm sure I'll be able to use it for something else. But I'm going to just look through the rest of the pieces. I need this to be like an inch deep because it needs to be able to fit up to this size of pocket. Or up to this size of wallet, sorry. And so this is a pretty thick wallet, right? And so it's supposed to be able to fit in there. But obviously you can see that it's way too thick for it, so that's why we're doing the 3D. I also tend to carry a lot of stuff in my wallet, so maybe that's might also be why. Hey, nice. You, I'll have to check that out when you go live. Has a ton of mistakes, but is a gift. Ha. Yeah, I think that the mistakes can definitely make for a really cool piece, though. I only wet mold knife sheaths and holsters. Yeah, I think the range marks will look super, super, super cool and interesting. And I think it just makes, what's cool is it then, even if I do this design again, which I probably will, even if I were to do it in the exact same color again, each piece will still be unique because each range mark is unique. And like, I mean, even to the point, I do it even to the point where there was a coffee stain on this piece of leather, and I left the stain, and it just looks like that makes it even more unique. And that's what I like. I like to get things as unique and one of a kind as possible. Okay, so that's all we're going to obviously use the same stitching holes. That's all the thread taken out. Now I'm going to measure this pocket because the end dimensions need to be the same, but it's going to have more volume. And there's a couple ways you can do a volume pocket without having to actually do wet forming. And one way is to do like a V and then bring it in, and it's going to be kind of like that, you know? But I think that works better on fabric than it does on leather, because the fabric can stretch a little bit, has a little bit of give. And I just don't want to risk like cutting this out and doing it again and then it's still not fitting. So instead, I'm going to do a kind of 3D where there's like seams in the corners and then it kind of flares out and then there's this stitch line. So you'll see, I think first I need to see if I've got enough of those range mark pieces. Got that. I've got this. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna see here. We might not be able to use the range mark pieces. This might not be big enough, but I've got this piece and I've got this piece. So let's see here. I'm going to need to do like this and then have extra things here, here, and here. This might actually be big enough. And this might actually be big enough. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to have an extra 1/2 inch here, here, and here. So I'm going to be cutting out a pretty significantly larger piece. So right now we're at 4.5 by 4, so we need to add 1 inch on this axis and 1/2 inch on this axis. So we're going to have 4.5 by 5.5. Okay. I love taking every opportunity I have to kind of almost like freehand something. Okay. So let's see if I can manage to do this. I don't think I'm going to have enough room on this piece. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Okay. Okay. I think I will be able to do it on this piece. So we're going to have this little range mark here. I could also do it. This is a surprisingly firm piece for it being a range mark piece. I could also do it like this. We're going to have to trim these, but this would be more noticeable. More like eye-popping, let's say. I mean, yeah, I definitely have enough space here. It just depends on what I want to do. Let's go with the more interesting piece. I think this would be cool. Okay, so grab my knife. I'm definitely going to change out the blade here. Try and do a new blade. On this one, I am able to switch out the blade every time because it's a utility knife with replaceable blades. But depending on your knife, you either want to sharpen it every time or replace the blade every day, basically. If you want to, oh, sorry for the bump. Okay, just rambling. 4.5. 5.5. Let me just switch this around so you guys can see more. So I'm not just, don't have an elbow in your face. Okay. Five and a half by 4.5. Opa, we had a... you see, I need to take my own advice. That's what happens when you try and go too heavy on the pressure on the blade. Always go light pressure, especially when you're cutting something wonky like a range mark piece. Your knife's going to want to drag. Luckily, I didn't destroy the piece. I didn't injure myself, but sometimes that's how serious injuries can happen. Okay. So, that is our piece. Alright, now I'm going to need to trim off these bits. I'm going to just do this now. Okay, so that's kind of like what we're dealing with. I think I might be able to just... Okay. So it's looking pretty good. Now, what I need to do is I'm going to cut the corners out. Now I have to determine how I want to do this. So there's an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, right? So I think actually I should go ahead and allow for the seam allowance first. And then I'll cut around that. So we've got our stitch groover, and I'm going to go ahead and just groove in where the stitch line is going to be. Okay. Now, we need to cut, instead of 4/8, which is half an inch, we need to cut 5/8 inch corners off of here. Okay, this is where having straight lines will help. Now I'm trying to determine how I need this to be, because I don't. Okay. I'm gonna do. You'll see where I'm going with this here in a minute, I think. So this is going to be like a corner. Okay, so you cut the corners off here and here, and then you bring that in and you kind of pinch it. But I need to be able to allow for the stitch line to go around, and then there's going to be a little corner missing on the stitch line. Now that doesn't really matter that much, but I wanted to see if I could cut it in such a way where the pieces meet and there's no like missing corner, and I'm just trying to figure out how I would do that. And I think the best way is to cut out a 5/8 inch corner on this sheet of paper, and I'm going to okay, so that's going to come in, and it's going to allow for, it's going to be basically a 1/2 inch. Oh, I just realized oh my God. Okay, so I just did this wrong. This thing is basically 1 inch, okay? So I split the difference between the two sides. What I actually need to do is add 1 inch to either side. Ow, poo. Alright, so we're not going to be able to go with a range mark piece, unfortunately, because I just fucked up. Unless I can squeeze an extra 1/2 inch out of here, but I don't think I can. Dang it. Well, you know what? That's what happens. I should have figured it out on the pattern first. That is a lesson. It's okay. I've got extra pieces, just not necessarily with range marks on them. But, oh lordy, you live and you learn. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. All right. So, this piece is, I'll use this for something. I don't know what, but I'll use it for something. This piece is how wide? Nicola. Five and a half by 4.5. So I need 6.5 by 5. Okay, to be honest, I don't think I would have been able to get. Maybe I would have actually. I don't know now. Whatever. No point dwelling on it. 6.5 by 5. All right, we're going to make this right. We're going to make this right. Okay. Do the stitch line, or the groove line. All right. Now we need to account for an inch. So now I'm going to figure out this again. Take two, you guys. Take two. Actually, an inch and an eighth. All right. Okay, so that's going to be like that, and then I don't know if you can see the missing corner that will be created. So I need to account for that, which means I essentially need an extra 1/8 of an inch little notch here. So if I leave an extra 1/8 of an inch here and then I just cut 2 notches and okay. Okay, so I think I know how to do this now. So I'm going to cut the full corner for this side. but I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch less for this side. Okay. Be very, very careful. All right. Now I can take my wing dividers, which are these guys right here. I can set that to 1/8 of an inch, which they're already set. And then mark just like that. Or did this even work? You know what? I don't even know if I can get this to work. Let me see. Cut a notch there, a notch there. Kind of does, but not really. Okay, you know what? We're just going to deal with the empty corner there. It's literally a 1/8 of an inch corner. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. Yeah. Okay. 1 1/8 by 1 1/8. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so then that's going to be something like that. Now what we can do is I'm going to make a groove line going all the way like that on both sides. And then I'm going to put the stitch lines in, and we're going to be able to sew those corners. Hey, the coffee mug takes priority. I totally get it. Okay. Okay. I think we're also going to line up and punch all the other holes. Okay, this is how I'm going to do this. I am going to bring this here. All right. And just trying to think how this is going to go, like that. So if I do something like that, I'm going to just mark, like match these holes so that when I go to sew, the holes are perfect. Take my 6er. I think what I can do is just literally just mark the ends. Okay, so just press down like that. Press down. Like that. Okay. Do the same thing on this side. And the same thing on this side. Okay. All right, I can just barely see those, and that's good. Okay, we're gonna get switched over to the chiseling station. We're gonna put these holes in. So I'm gonna just get you moved on over. Some exciting news. I've decided to do a Kickstarter campaign. I've toyed with the idea a lot over the last couple years, and I don't know, just from fear or whatever the reason, I just never did it, and I'm at the point where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just do it and go for it, you know? I'm trying to, not that I'll be using this right now, but oh, there we go. Do you ever get your oblong punch just stuck up with freaking things like nobody's business? Okay. We're gonna move on over. I'm gonna turn a light on. Make sure you guys can actually see me or see what we're looking at. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put in these holes first. you're actually not in a good angle. I don't know if you can even see. Oh, we've got 4 viewers. Hello, hello, hello. Appreciate everyone who stays on. I know this is kind of like a patience thing for a lot of people. You know, especially on live streams in general. Personally, for all the creators that I've seen, I can never seem to stay on a live stream for a long time. Just because usually I'm not like just sitting and watching one thing for a super, super, super long time. You know, I'll sit down and take a rest and watch some YouTube videos, but like, I don't know. So I understand the urge to click off, so I appreciate everyone who stays. It's helping the channel like a shitload. So really, I mean, more than I think anyone really ever knows. The watch hours for these live streams are what really like boosts the channel, gets us out to more people. Okay, so since this is an inch, I can just go ahead and just use my 1-inch chisel. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay, I'm going to actually bevel these outside edges before I do anything else. And now I feel comfortable with grooving this edge because I know I won't accidentally chisel it now. Okay. So I'm going to just do that real fast. And I'm going to go ahead and burnish. So I'll just do it over here so you guys can see. So, burnisher, edger. These tools are from Little King Supply. And I love his tools. Not a sponsor or anything, the tools are just beautiful. I like dark wood and brass, and it's just right up my alley. And the steel is really good. Like, it stays sharp. This thing stays freaking sharp. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take some Tolkanol, and I'm just going to dab it along this top portion. And actually, this reminds me, I need to put a finish on this before I sew anything. So that's actually what we're going to do next. Real quick. So we just want to burnish until we get some clicking. Hear that? That means that it's good and burnished. Okay. So actually, I'm going to switch you back around to throw a finish on here. I guess I could actually do it here. So this is some Fiebing's Leather Balm with Atom Wax. It's my favorite finish. It's the one I've used for the entire project. And I use for most projects that, actually all the projects that I need to put a finish on something, I always go with this. Okay. Oh, and the cool thing about this pocket now is that I already have the stitching holes in for like on the main body, so I don't actually have to I don't have to like put tape down or anything. Okay. And go ahead and buff, and we should see this color really come to life. You see how nice that is? Oh, I love this finish. Okay. So these corners don't really need, I don't really need to put it in like a stitching pony, so I think I'm literally just going to sit down and do this. Got our blue thread. I might have to buy more of this, I'm not sure. I think I actually might buy some when I buy the magnet snaps and everything, if Buckle Guy has the same thread. And actually, I need to order those. I don't know why I've been so slow about that. I'll order those after this live is done. So I'm going to turn you guys around. We're going to get good view of this pocket, or this chair. God, I don't know what I'm saying. All my words are like mixed up and... Alright, got me some needles, and we're gonna crank this out real quick. Hey, Daniel. I have over 500 videos, and one of them is a 5-hour live I did with... with the something giant killer. Yeah, I think that the better way to build up a good audience is to do the longer videos and just do them in your own style. Do the videos that you want to do as opposed to the videos that everyone's saying you should be doing, because what will happen is the people who stay on your channel are the people who like your videos because they're your videos, right? And then you won't be a servant to trends and whatever new feature YouTube puts out and whatever, because the people don't care about that, really. They care about you, you know? I mean, the people who are going to be like your viewers for the next 5 years, you know, they're people who watch your videos because they're your videos, not because they're the new trendy thing. So it's definitely advantageous. It takes longer to build up an audience this way, but the audience is far more valuable to you as the content creator, and your content will be far more valuable to your audience. Suppose you could get a video that does like 1 million views if you're just following a trend, and you might not get a single one of those people. Like the next day, in the next like 2 minutes, they've already forgotten about you. So that's why I think all the trends, everything is just overrated. I think there's some people who like to think that all this is more complicated than it actually is. So I was a part of a coaching group, and it was all about like building up business and just like improving your life. And one of the terms that they used a lot, and it was for people who like are stuck in their own heads too much to actually just take action and do things. It's called mental masturbation. And what that means is like you're going to convince yourself that something is too hard to do or too complicated so that you don't have to do it. Whereas like content creation is not complicated. It really, really isn't. It's just you turn on the camera and you talk and you do whatever you're going to do, and then you post it. That's literally it. Like when you break it down. And I mean, I'm definitely guilty of getting in my head too much, but like people tend to just overcomplicate things. And then there's the people who are successful. They're not all successful people do this, but some people who have a following will try and convince their followers that they have some special knowledge or something that like makes them that got them to where they are, and then they'll try and package it and sell it for you or sell it to you. Whereas like it's just everything is simple. Everything is simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. Nothing is truly ever as complicated as people make it out to be. Leather work isn't even that complicated. When you break down the amount of steps you use or the amount of techniques you use, like 90% of things are all the same techniques and the same tools, the same materials. Like, but on the outside, it looks like there's this crazy, like you have to have some special knowledge or something to be able to do it. You really don't. And that goes for every single thing ever. That is the case, in my opinion. Can you guys see what I'm doing here, by the way, or do I need to lower it? I may go ahead and lower it, actually. Yeah, why don't I lower this real quick? There you go. Now, hopefully you can see this a little better. So you see what we're doing now? So we're kind of creating this little box with a nice little crosshatch stitch. And then we're going to tie a knot at the bottom. And that knot is just going to be in the corner of the pocket, so it's not going to really be noticeable once the pocket's sewn on. Okay, so I'm thinking about, so I said before that the next project I would do would be a duffel bag, but I don't know if I have, if I currently have the right materials to do a duffel bag. So I'm considering doing a project that I've tried to do many times, but I've not been very successful with thus far, but I still want to try and do it again, and it's shoemaking. I took a shoemaking class, okay? I made a pair of shoes, like, under supervision, and one of my goals has been to be able to make the same pair or a better pair at home. And thus far, I have not been able to actually achieve that goal. But I might go on a limb and try again here once we're done with this project. I don't know. Would you guys want to see that, even if I might fail? Would you guys want to see? I'll actually show you right now. I've got a failed one here. I've got the design down. I just need to perfect a few things. I'll show you real quick. Here we go. So that's the corner. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And then these are going to flare out. And we're going to sew. So I'll probably start here. And I'll go around the corner and go all the way up to this end. And I'll tie a knot here. And then we'll be good. This will be a really cool little thing, I think. So let me show you the shoes real quick. I got it sitting in my window. Opa! So I've got a bunch of old wallets in it that I need to sew. They've got old branding on them. So I don't know if I could at least make content from them, I guess. But yeah, let me show you this real quick. Okay? So that's kind of the design. You can see that. Like, I think the hair on looks cool. This is some rabbit hide I got from Tandy. This is some horsehide leather. It's not shell. It's some other kind that I got from Horween. So, like, there's a few things wrong with this. Like, this is too ripply here, and, like, this whole heel section has always given me trouble. But, you know, it's like, it's getting there. But I still need to, like, work on the design a little bit. So, I don't know, would you guys want to see me do one of these on camera and maybe maybe actually be successful this time? Who knows? Crazier things have happened. You tell me. You were one of the original content creators on YouTube? That's sick. That's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna, I'm definitely not gonna get this done this week. You had your own local TV show. That's sick, dude. Oh, got a freaking celebrity in the chat here. Okay. Now there. I need to not put in so much effort into my first pair of boots that I'm going to make here. I need to like just use some leather that I'm not really going to, maybe it's not like the perfect, you know, like dream pair, but I need to get the technique down. I need to keep reminding myself that because it's very easy for me to like go all out on the details and then I don't have the core design or like the core technique down and then I just waste this beautiful piece. I don't know. Well, actually also I have to get, so there's one thing that would definitely benefit my ability to make shoes, and that would be a bell skiver. I dread doing skiving by hand, and one of the things that I need to do for the project for boots is to be able to skive the edges of the upper, which is like the actual boot part, so that it can go very easily onto the sole, right? And I just remembered that I can't do that skiving by hand. I've tried, and I'm not good enough at that technique to do it reliably. Hoppa. Okay. You know what? I think, so you guys who are on right now, you can tell me if this is accurate or not. But I'm noticing that people are staying on a lot longer since I got the music going. Does that, like, I don't know, it's interesting. I don't know, does that, like, is it easier to stay on when you're engaged with the music, or does that not really have an effect? I always find like the way people react to certain things and like how much small details can change your metrics on these social media platforms. I always find that so fascinating. Like one small color change or one word change on an ad can improve engagement like tenfold. And when you look at it, it's like one word was taken out or one word was added. And like same thing with like thumbnails and overall details in videos, and like it's so interesting. You want to hear something funny? So I have this like workshop live thing listed as a podcast. And I think this is actually giving me the perfect way to make a leatherworking podcast, which I've always wanted to do. But if I were to call this a podcast, I would technically be in the top 1% of podcasters now, because metrics show that in order to be in the top 1% of podcasters, all you have to do is make 9 episodes or more. If you can get to episode 10, you're in the top 1%, which I think is hilarious, because that's like such a low bar. You know? I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't judge, because it's not like I was always super consistent with things. But I just think that's funny. All right, we're getting close here. Just gonna tighten that, tie it off, and then we'll get to doing that. And I'm just gonna make some just some bends there. That'll overall improve the... Okay. Sorry, there I go again, just rambling. I'm trying to reduce the amount that I just go down like a rabbit hole. Although that is actually when the best thoughts come around, now that I think about it. It's when I'm rambling, that's where the gold is. All right. So I think those look really cool. I think the corners look cool. So now I need to measure out how much thread I need for this whole outside stitch. And even that, I think I might not put it, I don't think I'm going to really be able to put it in a, like, stitching pony. So I think I'm going to just sit here and sew it. I'm glad I decided to do this on camera, because I probably wouldn't have gotten around to it, and I probably would have left it, or not left it, but it would have been like a task to do at the end instead of, you know, actually enjoying it. Okay. So we're back to our original dimensions now, like the outside. That being 4.5 by 4, I believe. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's... Oh, maybe it was 4 by 4. No, it's 4.5 plus 8 is, 4.5 by 8 is 12.5. Multiply that by 3. I think I'll multiply it by 4 just to be safe. 4 feet is 48 plus 2 is 50. So I'm going to do like 55 inches. Just to be safe. 55 inches. Okay. So I'm going to need to measure that out real quick. So we're going to get moved around here. Since I'm going to sit down, I'm not going to bother moving the camera because it's going to just like, I'm just going to sit down again. But I'm just using, you know what, actually I can switch it back to the chat camera, I guess. And there goes my thread. Okay, what's up? I just dropped the thread. So I'm just measuring out where my or how long my thread is going to be. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need to order some more thread. So that's 36 plus 20. Opa, did I just make a bunch of noise? Now I need to know where the heck. Aha, it's underneath the bag. Okay. Yeah, so that's where we're at with. That's how much thread we need, or how much thread we have left. So I'm going to need to buy some more. Sorry, I'm at the point where like my brain has stopped working. Until I'm pausing more. And so we're going to crank out the stitch line and then we're going to be done for today. Lest I start saying some stuff that could get me in trouble. Okay. Four times is probably a little excessive, but as I've said in the past, it's always better to have more than enough thread. When you measure like how much you might be quote-unquote wasting by over measuring, it's literally pennies. It's worth it to know that you're going to have enough. You didn't finish the edges all pro. I went for the old look and I think it looks great. Definitely post something or like reach out on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram handle. Send me some pictures. I'm very curious. At i.m.nikla_. I'm very, very, very curious to see what you're working on. Oh yeah, you said you'll be going live right after that, so I'll definitely check in and see. Okay, so we're gonna get flipped on around here. And I'm going to switch on back to the workshop camera. Opa! Okay. All right. Get situated here. Actually, I think I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to have to remove this tape now that I... Maybe not. I might be able to get away without removing it. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to start at one end and actually, this is going to be difficult to do, but okay. The first few stitches are going to be difficult, but do my best to show you guys. Okay. Any luck will... I mean, I did take the time to make sure the edges or the stitching holes would match up, so seems like that's paying off now. Do you remember what it was like when you were a kid and the school day would end and you felt this like, you just felt this like, you know, and like you could have had the best day ever at school, but you were still excited to like go home and just chill. That's kind of how it feels when I'm done with a live. Is it's like I love doing these. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't be doing it. But there is something so nice, just like when you turn the camera off and you're just like, and then you just go on, you know, whatever. I mean, caring for a friend's dog while they're on vacation, so like I go and let their dog out and throw the ball a little bit, and then I just go on like with my day, and I kind of like get outside and whatever. And there's just something so pure about that feeling. Because these do really take a lot of energy. You wouldn't think it, but I mean, I was surprised that I was so tired after the live. I don't know why I was surprised, but I have no idea how long we've even been going. I think it's been for more than an hour. Oh, and I'm so happy now. I feel like now I don't have to like speak up because the microphone is right under me, right like whatever, right here, something like that. Wow, and also you can see my beard here moving. That's kind of weird. Like the microphone is right here, and I keep having to remind myself that it's right there. Let's see. Okay. All right, I'm already loving this new pocket design. I love these pockets that are like 3D. I've always thought they look so cool. I'm happy I'm finally getting to actually use one. Definitely going to use these in more designs now. I'd like to make like a rucksack. So I've got like a simple, kind of like streamlined backpack design. But I want to make one that's a little more elaborate. That has like more pockets and like maybe not even a zipper. Maybe like a drawstring closure with like a big flap. I don't know. I could honestly just make backpacks forever. I love them. Okay, we're going around the corner now. Okay, so here's where we're going to have to kind of come on. There's a hole with your name on it, buddy. Come on, you little bastard. Okay. We're having a little bit of trouble getting into this stitching hole. Aye? Well, I don't see your ship, Captain. I'm in the market, as it were. I don't know why I just thought of that, but... Okay, we're around the corner. Okay. And all this bag is wanting to do is slide off onto the floor. Seriously, this is redonkulous. Come on. That's right. We all got the hole we gotta go in, buddy. Come on. There you go. Stubborn little bastard. All right. It's a going. It's a going. You'd be sick as if I could have the chat somehow displayed on my phone, because I want to be able to read the chat, but it just forces me to get up from my station and like look at the computer because I can't see from here. All right. Oh yeah, so podcasting, that's completely forgot. I was going to say something else on that and I didn't. I just had a complete brain fart. So this has given me an idea for a way I could do a leatherworking podcast, which is to basically, whether it's having non-leatherworkers, but like for now I'll just have leatherworkers on, and instead of just sitting and talking, I won't be able to have any physical guests like in the shop with me, although in the future I would like to, but they could be sitting in their shop working, and I could be sitting in my shop working, and we're talking about whatever we're talking about while we're also making something. And I think that could be really, cool. Come on. There we go. Got around. Yeah, this clip is going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass, but to deal with while we're sewing. Okay, I'm going to switch this around and try maybe from this angle. Be easier for me to do this maybe. Okay, and I'm going to move you guys just like that, so I think you guys can see me more. Oh no, that just made you see me less. Okay. where's the... Maybe like that. So I'm watching a slightly delayed... Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're about halfway on the stitching. You always end up doing so much interesting stitching when you hand stitch. Just stitching weird pieces, like not really having a good way to do it. There's not really a good way to put this into a clamp and sew it, you know. Most people would probably just machine sew. I mean, I have a sewing machine. I could have done that, but I don't have blue thread. And I think there's something nice about the thickness of this thread that you just don't get with the machine thread. This is the first bag I think I've done that I'm hand sewing completely. No, I think I did a purse. I did a few purses, actually. But it was the first, like, large-scale bag that I'm hand sewing. Alrighty then. Okay. I'm super curious to see how this microphone is going to sound outside. So, a little behind the scenes, my mom started her own like gardening channel. I kind of encouraged her to do her own YouTube channel stuff, and I one of the, like, we are splitting the cost of, like, the microphone setup, and I'm going to help her make some, like, really good quality videos outside, and that's one of the main reasons why we got the mic setup. And so I'm going to get to see how this sounds outside, and I'm very, very interested. I'm also going to be able to use it with my, like, fancy schmancy camera. Because I'm going to be the one holding the camera. Which I'm kind of excited about because it's going to give me a good excuse to be outside during the summer. Because usually I don't, like, I want to get outside every summer, but I never do because I'm just inside working. So I'm excited because it's going to give me a good excuse to get outside a lot this summer. Alrighty then. Okay, we're almost around to the last side. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. I don't know if that makes it shake a ton, but okay, now we're almost to this corner. Hello, new viewer. We're making a briefcase, working on a wallet pocket. And you just kind of get to chill and listen to some music and watch me sew. Sometimes I say some good things, sometimes I say some stupid things. It's kind of a mixed bag here at Arangella. Okay. Hoppa. Alright. We're almost around to the final corner. Oh, we are around to the final corner. Alright, we're going to have a big old stitch here. Wasn't really intending on that happening, but... But all right. I guess some things are going to happen how they're going to happen. It's going to take a little while for this to kind of like align. It's going to take not a little while. A few stitches. It's going to take a few stitches for this to align. There we go. All right. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Not quite at the point where I can sew from that side. Come on. There we go. Oh. Okay, so oh, it says we have 22 views. I think that says. I don't know. I don't know how the metrics work on the live streams. Still a little confused about that. Okay, well, I think it's aligning now. Kind of. As I'm struggling to sew. Let's see here. Man, this is being particularly stubborn. So I'm sorry it's taking so long. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why it's being so so stubborn? Okay, let's... Okay, we may be at the point where the sewing is going to align more. Yeah. Yeah. Thank God. I think this last part's going to be much faster. We're still going to set these stitches. I'm not really going to be able to set them all that adequately from the other side. I mean, I'll try, I suppose, but I'm going to at least try and do them from the inside. Not that they really need to be set on the outside. They actually look really good just the way they are. Okay. All right, we got a few more. I'm really liking how this is looking, though. I wish I wouldn't have fucked up on the piece with the range marks, but alas, what is done is done. Okay. Whoa, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Skidoo-bop, skidoo-doo-bop. Oh, I just remembered there's music going, so that probably sounds terrible against the music. Oh, Lordy, excuse me. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more stitches to do. And then we'll be able to see how this pocket's going to work, how it's going to look. All that jazz. We're almost there, boys and girls. And I'm very happy I cut extra thread. Oh, Doopy-doo. Okay, I found a song. It's not a new song. A song by Dean Martin that I did not know existed until I saw a reel that had this song. Song is My Rifle, My Pony, and Me. And it is a fantastic song. And I've not been able to stop listening to it. Very simple, not a lot of instruments. It's just frickin' Dean Martin's silky smooth voice. It's from a John Wayne movie. But it is just, it is amazing. So if you have time, once the live is done, look up My Rifle, My Pony, and Me on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube as opposed to Spotify because the YouTube version is better. It's like the song that they actually, like they're singing it in the movie, and to me it sounds better than when they sing it for like the actual audio track. Okay, so we're at the last stitch. We're going to do a square knot, so that's right over left, pull as taut as you can, and then left over right. All right, and then you're going to pull out knife, trim it, that's a little bit of a thread tail, but I think it'll be fine. Kind of stuff that in there and smash it down so it's not even visible. Okay, smash it down sounds so intense, it's not. Alright, I'm going to just square out, like, kind of crimp these and make it more of like a square. Alright, that is, it's going to look so cool. Alright, let me switch the camera around so you guys can have a better view, and we'll go ahead and test it out. Okay, I'm going to raise you up. Okay. So, can you see it? This pocket looks sick. This is the wallet. That's the moment of truth. Look at how nice that fits in there. Oh my God. This thing is freaking awesome. Okay, so that's a super thick pocket, or super thick wallet. Now, I can fit this guy in there, which is a much thinner one, which even though there's a lot of room, it still fits snugly because of how these are shaped. Oh my God, that looks awesome. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Skaloopy doopy bop. Yeah, I'm definitely going to make a reel and a short of just like fucking sliding this thing in here. Ooh, man, that's so satisfying how like nice that fits in there. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to get switched around to the FaceTime camera, and we're going to finish up this live today. Wow, that's awesome. All right, we laughed, we cried, we found out some things about ourselves. Yeah, I love it when the plan comes together too. That's the best. Oof, I'm so excited. Yeah, so thank you for everyone for staying on. We're 2 hours in, you guys stayed on. That's freaking awesome. You guys are legends. I will, there's nothing else to really say. I'll see you tomorrow. This came out freaking great. I'm going to make some shorts, some reels. We're going to do the deal. And tomorrow, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Maybe I'll work on the edges. Maybe I'll do the edges of like the shoulder pad. That might be, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time. Squatch Zone. I will check out your live once you start. Yeah. See ya. And now we awkwardly switch. Goodbye!